Can't hear you, madam. Madam, we can't hear you.
Now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I think earphones. So TOG కి వెళ్తున్నా నేను. Jamuna madam కూడా maybe the reason she just told me. So I'm taking over first two.
Okay.
First మాట్లాడి Shailja, you carry on please.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
Whether
Two
Swarupa
schools have joined, madam. Swarupa madam hasn't joined it. Shanta madam is joining.
Shanta madam is joining. Where is Swarupa?
Good morning, Shanta madam.
Good morning,
Good morning. Good morning, Kiran. Good morning,
Good morning.
Shailaja.
They are
Morning.
connecting. Yeah.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning, Shriman.
Morning, Sriman. ఇంకా టైం ఉందా? ఒక 5 నిమిషాలు అయినా లాగిన్ అవుతా.
But in schools join అవ్వాలి, madam.
ఒక 5 నిమిషాలు అయినాక జాయిన్ అవుతా.
ఓకే శాంత మేడం ఒక 5-10 minutes ఆగి జాయిన్ అవ్వండి.
ఓకే.
ఓకే ఓకే. శ్రీమన్.
Yes, madam.
నా స్లైడ్స్ ఫస్ట్ నువ్వు షేర్ చేసేస్తావా?
Okay, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Yeah. Because I can share, but I'm in a car.
Oh, madam. I'll do that now.
Good morning.
Morning. I was rushing from the OT and
Yeah, same here. I am totally unprepared. I'm in Dheera kabatti. Madam, Jamuna madam, tanu 10 అనుకున్నట్టున్నారు. అనుకొని she agreed. Now suddenly she realized both are at 9 o'clock.
So అందుకు ఇవాళ ఓపీలో I told them, you do whatever you want. I'm coming at 11:50.
No, I'm going to hand over to you both and after 9:30.
No problem.
Morning hours are difficult for us, kada?
Chala.
That 2 to 4 is good actually.
Yeah. 3 to 5 is also fine by me.
5 is also fine. Sometimes na Maharashtra and all they were having it 6 to 8. One Amravati people had it. Children joined in home.
Okay.
So one
but the thing is, once you go home, your mood is different.
I know. School is best.
Yeah. No, I was thinking all the staff and all, suddenly they will not turn up one day in the morning, no? So I said, I'll give them a taste of me not being there in the morning one day. Why am I the only punctual person? Today I will go late and let's see how it will feel.
How it is. Ade,
ఇవి కూడా ఓపెన్ చేసుకుని ఉంచుకుంటే
స్వరూప మేడం కూడా రిజిస్టర్ అయ్యారు, జాయిన్ అవుతారు కదా మేడం. Muted, madam.
Yeah, she'll join, Shailaja.
Yeah.
She'll
join.
I
think the fourth
think,
school is joining.
What they have done is one of their members has gone physically to the schools
Yes.
They are doing 3 or 4 schools together today.
4 schools together.
4
Fourth
schools.
school is joining now. 3 have already
Yeah.
joined.
యాక్చువల్లీ ఇలా అయితే ఒకే టైంలో చేయొచ్చు అందరిని.
Yeah, today Swarupa madam is there.
Hi Swarupa, good morning.
Ma'am,
Shall we start?
here we have our
Resound వస్తుంది.
yes. This is our
Swarupa,
madam.
are you able to hear us clearly?
And clear.
Ma'am,
Resound వస్తుంది. సో గుడ్ టు సీ కదా అందరు పిల్లలు చక్కగా.
Yeah.
శ్రీమన్
Yes, madam.
పిక్చర్స్ తీయండి,
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
పిన్ చేసి తీయండి ఒక్కొక్క స్కూల్లో.
Okay, ma'am.
So we have 7 high school. I can see Dr. Samata there.
Yes, Dr. Samata. Hi.
Yes. So the other schools are joining in just now.
4 schools have joined, madam. 4 schools are there.
Swarupa.
Caramel CBSE, Caramel CBSE, Dr.
so-
Radha Krishnan School, 7 High School, and
Bhupati
Oliva, that is the 4th school.
So if they switch on their videos once, we can have one.
Yeah, switch on the videos, please. Radha Krishna School, Mancherial. Switch on the video, please.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can
Please
see.
show us
Yes.
the students.
Yes. Then Caramel CBSE. Please switch on the video.
Yeah, we can see even the Bhupati. You should
Yeah.
turn once towards the students. Yes,
Yes,
that's
yes.
perfect.
Yes.
That's perfect.
There is another school, Caramel CBSE.
Yeah.
They are all
Madam, you are muted.
Samantha,
Samantha,
madam,
muted.
yourself.
Unmute.
Not at the mic, at the computer.
At the computer. Unmute at the computer.
Yeah, she is unmuted now.
Yeah.
Can you see us, madam? Can you see us, madam?
Yes, we can hear you.
Dr. Padma from Mancherial. Yeah, Dr. Padma.
Yeah. Very good morning. Very good morning.
Very good morning.
Padmaja, Dr. Shailaja ma'am and Dr. Kiranmai ma'am.
Yes, Samantha, we can see
Morning.
you
Good
all.
morning. Samantha,
Dr.
Samantha, once we are once we are ready. Good morning. Once we are ready, I'll ask Shanta madam to join. She'll take 2 minutes from the program to join.
Yeah, we are ready, ma'am.
I didn't see Swarupa yet. Swarupa connected and then disconnected. I mean, her audio is some problem.
Radha Krishnan School, can we see the students, madam?
Camera student side.
Camera to the student side.
Yeah. Okay.
1 minute. వేరే కెమెరా పెట్టింది.
Man, we are doing it.
Yeah, no problem.
Let Swarupa also join then.
Caramel School.
Yes, we
Yeah.
got
Yes,
even
yes.
their stage we can see.
Yeah.
Yes, we can see you all.
We can see.
Unmute yourself, madam, at Carmel School.
Dr.
At
Swarupa.
the computer, you need to unmute. Yes. Yes, we can see.
Yeah, we can see. We can see.
So we
Can't hear you, Swarupa madam.
Swarupa can't hear you.
The one connected as Soumya is Ushodaya School.
Okay. Shall we start?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
one more. Yes, Ushodaya is also.
Joining?
We can just see their name.
So 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Shodaya School, please put on your video.
Yes. Lovely, elaborate bows on their ribbons, madam.
You remembered your childhood, huh?
I know, but I never used to get such beautiful things. They used to be dangling and tired flowers, my bows.
That was a big this thing, no? To get nice.
Yeah, nice ones. So if Ushodaya School can hear us, we can start and take pictures as we go along.
Yeah. When shall we ask madam to join? What will be the right moment?
I think 15-20 minutes down the line, because one talk will finish and then
Yeah.
that should be a good enough thing.
Okay.
Can Ushodaya School hear and see us?
Ushodaya School, please switch on your camera and unmute yourself. I don't know who is there. Samatha? Dr. Ushodaya School lo evarunnaru manavadu?
Ushodayalo, yeah, Dr. Srinivas and Dr. Jyoti are there, ma'am. We'll contact them.
They have to switch on the video and audio. At least video.
If they're hearing us, we can as well start on the go.
Start.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
If they are able to see us, we'll start it off. Yeah.
Zoom meeting up compulsory.
Download you might download it. Continue.
Continue.
So Ilja, first two, who is doing?
My madam.
Okay, madam is doing it. Huh? The slides are being projected there.
Sriman will do. Yes, school.
Yeah. Chalo, Shri.
Yes, we have Ushodaya School also.
Shall we start?
Ushodaya School, can you unmute yourself once and let us know if you can hear us? Samata, we can't hear you.
Yeah, ma'am, they logged in actually. They
Yeah,
can
we can
hear
see
the
that.
audio.
Hmm.
So they logged in with some name of Kavya.
Okay, yeah.
No, they have renamed and it is with Ushodaya
Yeah,
school
they can
name
see
only,
the
madam.
visuals.
Video is also visible.
Okay, ma'am. Yeah, you can start the session. Thank you, ma'am.
మంచి ప్లేస్ ఉంటే ఆపు.
Kiranmay madam will start.
Yeah. Good morning, dear students. It is really English is okay or mix of English Telugu? Samata, Swarupa?
English, ma'am.
English, ma'am.
English, okay. So it is really very good feeling and really heartened to see you all, 4 schools joining together today morning for this very important program of our Foxy. Foxy is nothing but it is a federation of the All India Gynecologists and Obstetricians. Gynecologists and obstetricians are doctors who look after the health of girls and women. So we are around 39,000 of obstetricians and gynecologists across the country, and we have a very good organization which works for the health of the women of our country. So we have office bearers, and we have a president for our organization. So our president this year is from Hyderabad and Telugu states. First time we have a president to the Foxy from our part of the country. So our president is Dr. Shanta Kumari, and she had started this program Dheera in 2016. So when we realized, when we were doing some, we were sharing our experiences, we noticed that most of the health problems of girls and women are lying in the background is in the violence against women. So that was the basis, and madam had started Dheera in 2016. So we had a walkathon, we had a cyclathon, we had police people, we had women associations, we had people from all the professions joining us. So an awareness was raised to say no to violence against women. You know, violence is nothing but we are seeing it happens every day, every place. We are seeing in the newspapers either dowry deaths or fetal killing fetus, I mean unborn child in the womb, or eve teasing or sexual violence. So many types of violence are there, because of which the health of the women and girls is being affected, and as a society we have to address this. So this is why Dheera program was started by our President Shanta Madam, and we are lucky to have her here. She is very busy with her schedule, yet she has taken time to join us for few minutes today. Madam, would you like to address? We have 350 students and 4 schools from Mancherial who have joined us today, Shanta Madam.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Good morning, Shanta ma'am.
Say good morning.
Say good morning.
Hello, morning, dear girls and boys. Nice to see you all today morning, and I feel so happy that all of you have joined today for our Dheera program. It's very nice to see that 4 schools have joined today for this program, and on behalf of my organization Foxy, I really welcome you all. See, what is the idea behind this Dheera program is to sensitize all of you. So I want all of you boys and girls to grow up to be equal. No girl should grow up thinking it is okay to get affected by violence. And no boy, if he sees his father or mother do any sort of violence on women, should not grow up saying it's okay. So I want you all to grow up to be gender neutral, because you are the future of our country. I'm so happy that you all have joined. I'm sure your teachers, your principal, everyone has motivated you all to grow up in the right way for our country, because you are our future. You are our future of our country. So I hope you will learn some very important points. These are not only for passing your exams or getting first class or being the topper, but these are going to help you to become better citizens, and this will help our country to become the number one. So thank you all. Wish you all the best. Do well. Take care of yourself. Take care of us.
Thank you, Shant.
Girls and boys. Thank you to all the teachers who have motivated the children to join this program. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for spending the time for my society out of you.
Thank you. It's always wonderful to see the Mancherial also come up, where you have motivated all the schools to join the program together. Wish you all the best, and I hope by the end of this month we'll be covering all the schools in Mancherial and Karimnagar also.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shanta ma'am, for being with us.
Madhuri Patel is also there today, our Secretary General. She will also just give her
Yes.
Good morning,
ma'am.
Good morning, madam.
Ma'am.
It is so nice to see all of you. Good morning to all my dear little friends and all the teachers and all of you, our Foxy member. This Dheera project, as Dr. Shanta Kumari and you all, telling for the kids, as Dr. Shanta Kumari said, we want a better future. All the girls and boys, they stay together and have a nice future, and no gender, no gender discrimination, no, violence, gender violence. And we are teaching them right from the age where they are accepting it. So, this is a nice thing to happen, and all the best to my dear little friends and all my teachers and all my faculties. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Madhuri ma'am.
Madhuri ma'am. And thank you, Shanta ma'am. We are lucky to be part of this great initiative by Shanta ma'am and the team. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Yeah, now we'll have a video presentation which will again tell what this whole program is about and what have been the activities that were taken under Dheera for the past 5-6 years. Can we have Dheera video by the President and Foxy? Shriman?
Dear friends, Foxians, and the women of my country, I am Dr. Shanta Kumari, President of the Federation of Obstetrics and Gynecological Societies of India. As a doctor and a woman myself, I have observed very closely how prevalent violence against women is across the strata of our society and the enormous impact it has on the health of our women. My theme for the year as the President Foxy is Foxy for all always, and Dheera, stop violence against women.
Dr. Shanta Kumari, who has relentlessly campaigned for the issues of girl child. I was happy to be the ambassador of Foxy figure in 2020, and I hope that me being an ambassador has motivated a lot of girls and many families.
Violence against women is a serious human rights violation, leading to injury and sometimes even death. Unfortunately, 1 in 3 women experience some sort of physical and sexual violence during their lifetime. Violence in pregnancy is also widely prevalent, leading to unwanted pregnancies, unsafe abortions, neglected pregnancies with no antenatal care, all these contributing to maternal morbidity and near miss. As obstetricians and gynecologists, we have a great opportunity to assess and support women who experience violence because of the unique opportunity where we get to see them during the pregnancy, during the family planning visits, during their annual checkups, and multiple other times when they come to us. I strongly believe that by eliminating the violence against women, we are not only reaching the SDG goals, but also creates a just and equal society for our women. Until we make men and boys active partners, we can never end the violence against women. In an endeavor to sensitize our own fraternity, my initiative of Dheera was started to eliminate violence against women.
I completely support her vision and mission as President Foxy, and also especially support her campaign, Dheera, Stop Violence Against Women.
It was in 2016 at the launch of Dheera. We brought together the police, the obstetrician gynecologists, the National Commission for Women, the women and men on one single platform to wear orange and say no to violence against women. We organized the public forum and cyclothon to launch Dheera. In 2017, at the Foxy Figo Congress, we partnered with men and organized the Bikeathon and the Flash Mob. The high point of Dheera was at the International Figo Congress at Rio, Brazil in 2018. The Declaration on No to Violence Against Women was signed with Figo and WHO. It was here global societies pledged their support to end this violence against women. The Dheera campaign and march at the World Congress of Figo in Rio in 2018 got wide international publicity. No change is possible unless the young minds adopt it and make it a part of their life. Young minds are open and creative. They accept change. Foxy has always worked with adolescents for their health and well-being. Dheera this year adds a new page. I'm happy to share with you all that we are launching the Dheera online school certification course across the length and breadth of our country in all the schools. Foxy for all always. Dheera, stop violence against women.
The two themes of our Foxy this year, Foxy for all always, Dheera, stop violence against women. So you can imagine how much importance we are giving to this topic, and why we have chosen the school students of your age is because you are the future. There is no point in talking to adults who always have their set mindsets, and they don't change easily. So you are the future. That is the reason young children and students, boys and girls, are the focus of this program. So without further delay, we'll go with the first presentation, which will tell us what is violence against women, and again what is Dheera and why we are doing this Dheera. Okay, Shriman? So as I told, I congratulate you all. Within 2 days, all of you have done pre-registration, you have done pre-test, and without any hassles, 350 of you have successfully logged in today. So you know what is registration, you know how to do pre-test. So, and I'll tell you about post-test and feedback a little later. So what is violence? We have been telling since 10 minutes, 15 minutes, violence against women, and also we are repeatedly saying Dheera, Dheera. So what are these two things? The first module presentation will explain. So I want you all to be muted, but whenever you have any doubt, you can put it in the chat box, or at the end of 3 presentations, we can have some interaction, because our doctors are there with you. So you can take their help, your teachers' help, and please come forward, speak freely, and express your doubts or opinions, feelings, anything. We are here to interact. It's not like you're teaching one-sided teaching class. Okay. Next slide, Shriman. So the whole program today will be what is Dheera, what is war, and then war is violence against women. So then types of war. Violence is just, we are using it term as a complete, general term. So there are many types of violence. There will be one presentation which will tell how many types of violence are there. Then there is no point in learning about violence against women if we don't know how to manage. So we'll also know at your level how we can manage as children, and what is the role of bystanders, and also how to bridge this gender gap between girls and boys. And then another very important presentation will be on how to deal with peer pressure, because peer pressure is one thing which will deviate the young students or children into wrong tracks. So how not to go into the wrong ways and stay on the right path. Next slide. So registration pre-test you have done. At the end of all the sessions, when you leave the Zoom link, you will have a continue option. So you should click on that continue option, so that it opens the post-test and the feedback page, which you have to complete and send. After which the certificate will be generated and sent to you either through schools or through the Mancherial Society. This certificate is important because it has the logo of Foxy, that is our federation, and also UNICEF. You know UNICEF, na? United Nations International Children Emergency Fund. So it is an international reputed organization. You'll get a UNICEF certificate which will be useful to you in future also. So next slide. So what is Dheera? You are all Telugu, you belong to the Telugu language or Telugu states. So Dheera in any language, it means to be courageous, dhairyamu, Dheera, and the power of being together. So we are saying always, throughout we would be saying this Dheera together. We are all trying to be together to be courageous. Next slide. So this statement says, you must be thinking why this is being told to all of us. Most of us or many of us do not practice violence against women. But the fact is, though not all men practice violence against women, but every woman and girl lives with the threat of male violence every single day, all over the earth. So that is the reason girls and women do not go out at night. That is the reason they do not travel without any escort. That is the reason they are dressing up decently. That is the reason they are, prevented or from doing certain jobs at certain times because of this fear. So this fear is there every single day, and it's a fact. Next. So violence against women is a human rights violation. Women are humans. So women are human beings. So when there is violence against women, it is a human rights violation. So not only that, it causes, as doctors, I have told, we have noticed, it causes lot of effects on the body, on the mind, on the mental health. So everywhere there are lot of effects because of this violence. And because of this violence, the women are not able to take full and equal participation. They are participating, they are joining the society in various roles, but because of this violence, they are not able to reach their full potential and not able to give equal participation in the society. You all know, see, many professions do not have equal share of men and women in the jobs or in the careers. Many women drop out after their school education, their college education. They leave their careers to maintain homes, or due to some reason that they are supposed to go out of town. So just parents or in-laws, they say, why do you have to go? You just leave the job. So why? Because of the fear. It is not safe for you to go there or do this. And that affects the society also. And what happens when situations like COVID pandemic is there, we have observed this violence has increased by leaps and bounds. There were increased number of cases in the domestic violence against women. So next slide. So now again, so I don't know how many of you have seen any women being beaten, threatened, teased, scolded, either in school, neighborhood. These days, many homes treat their both the girl children and the boys equally, but still in lot of places, lot of societies and lot of homes, the inequalities exist. And always the male, female, or the woman or a girl, there are very lot of evidences and proof that they are threatened or scolded or looked down upon. So do you think this is right? What is this behavior called? Is there any word to describe it? So do you think it is right? Muted. So it is not right. So next slide. This is called what we have been saying since 15-20 minutes, that is violence against women. It is a very clear word. You search Google or in WHO terms, it is not the word that we have generated. The violence against women is a terminology which is there. So all this behavior which I have told in the previous slide is called violence against women. Next. So violence against women, again, it is widespread. Pratichota, everywhere it is there. So it is not that it is there in some villages or it is there in some parts of the country or some parts of the world, or it is there in poor societies and it is not there in rich societies. No, it is there everywhere. And as long as this violence is there, there is no real progress towards equality, development and peace. Next. So what exactly is violence against women? So any behavior which forces a woman to live in fear. So it can be because of physical violence like beating, sexual violence, or mental violence or psychological violence. These are the three main types which may force a woman to live in fear, and all the three come under violence. It's not just physical. Next. So we'll go into what are the types of violence in the next presentation. What are the roots of violence? So what are the roots? Roots are what are the basic reasons why it exists? One is important is you must be knowing the gender bias. Many families, especially in our country, when a child is born, they're happy, more happy if it is a boy and less happy if it is a girl. Always a girl when she's born is looked upon as, a negative kind of, or at least they want one boy in the family. That is nothing but gender bias. And this gender bias, right from birth, it extends up to the adulthood and beyond. Then there is something called patriarchal society. Next slide. I think the next slides explain this one by one. So I told gender bias, preference for males, girls are considered burdens. And then in some people, they do, what do? They try to know if the baby in the womb before birth, is it a girl or a boy? And when they know it is a girl, they even try to abort that pregnancy and kill the baby. And whenever the girls' health issues are, there are some families which neglect those girls' health issues. All these are examples of gender bias. Okay, next. And I was telling patriarchy. What is patriarchy? Patriarchy is a system of society or government in which men hold the power and women are largely excluded from it. Who do you think in Indian government or the state government, are the women more or the men more? Who hold the power? So it is 80 to 90% men who hold the positions of power, right from prime minister to ministers, to MLAs, to MPs, to officials. So only 20-30% will be women. So, and not only that, even in the family, it is the father or a father-in-law or a grandfather, someone who is a male and elder person who holds the power in the family. And women, what are they supposed to do? They are supposed to follow, be obedient, and just agree with whatever that male head of the family or nation tells. And you'll be surprised to know in Telangana government, there is very few women ministers, maybe one or two. So in the whole cabinet, the women ministers are very, very less. So this comes from the system of patriarchy, and decision making because of this rests with the male in the family or even in society. Next. So next comes the gender stereotyping. What is gender stereotyping? Because, sometimes you can see the picture here. This is self-explanatory. What do generally males are supposed to do? They're supposed to earn, work, and do jobs. What are the women supposed to do? They are supposed to, take care of the child, be at home, and be a homemaker. So this is nothing but stereotyping. Actually, it need not be like this. It can be either way. A male can stay home and take care of the baby, or a female can go and do the job. But most of the times it is the societal expectations or our own stereotyping that, a male has to earn and a female has to stay at home. And some other examples of stereotyping is some qualities. Girls are supposed to be shy, they're supposed to be humble, we think that girls cry very easily and that they're emotional and they have the tolerance of equal to an earth. Bhumatakuన్న sahanam undali, sympathetic. They are dependent. They can't do anything on their own. They need help. These are all the traits which we stereotype girls with. And boys, they can be aggressive. They are independent. They are logical. They are competitive. They can analyze. They can plan. They can lead countries. All this. So from the gender bias and patriarchal society comes the gender stereotyping. So these are all the roots which lead to the violence. That is the reason we are telling about this in the first presentation. Next. And sexism. What is sexism? Because of the sex. What is sex? Male, female. sex is here used equivalent to gender. So depending on the sex and gender, they are discriminated. So just because she's a girl or a woman, we think that they can't do certain things, and we have this bias. And there are a lot of jokes on women. I need not tell you, the whole WhatsApp groups are full of jokes on women, that women do this, women do that, women they don't drive, they do accidents, they gossip, they dress up, they do makeup, all this. So it goes as jokes, but most of these jokes are nothing but based on sexism. So can you think of any other examples of sexism? You just think and either put it in the chat box or talk to us when we interact. Next. This word, I think you must be hearing for the first time, toxic masculinity. You must be knowing what is masculinity. In Telugu films, we hear so many times. The hero says, Magatanam, Magavadu, the male. This masculinity becomes toxic. Why toxic? Because it is not good for either the health of the man or the woman. It even damages the man also. So what are the features of toxic masculinity? I am a man. I am very strong. I don't cry at all. I can control the situation. I am the boss. I am the savior. So these are all the features of our heroes, especially Telugu heroes and Bollywood heroes. This is not healthy. This is not healthy because it affects the mental health of that male person also. And it is okay to reach out for help. It is okay to cry. And that is the reason we don't think this toxic masculinity is accepted or it is healthy. So these are the 4 or 5 roots. What are they? One is gender bias, patriarchal society. Third thing, what I have told, gender stereotyping, sexism, and toxic masculinity. These are the 5 roots of violence against women. Next. So now why do as doctors we wanted to talk about this? I have told in the beginning itself that we are the people who take care of the health of the women, and women come to us for any health reason. They come to a gynecologist, and we have seen that many of their health problems are because of this direct or indirect violence, and pregnancy problems are also related to the violence. So that is the reason we wanted to talk about this violence. Next. So why Dheera? Next slide. So this was the campaign. You have seen our president here, and you also see here Mr. Anurag Sharma, who was the commissioner of police, and she was a actress from the Tollywood, and he is our international association president, FIGO, which is called FIGO president. So all of them have come on one stage, and we started this Dheera campaign, okay, in 2016. Next. So this campaign, now we are focusing on the schools, and the campaign aims to sensitize, orient, and train ourselves. I mean, we are 36,000 obstetricians and gynecologists, and we are aiming to cover 5 lakh boys and girls in the 9th and 12th grade plus 15,000 teachers till December 2022. So this is the campaign that we are taking up for this year. Next. So these are some of the pictures from the previous campaigns. You can see the banners, the girls, the boys, everyone joining. Okay, next. So again, together we have to be courageous and say no to violence against women and Dheera together. And we have to build a voice to 1 lakh tweets at one point of time. And we'll all ask you to join your voice to these 1 lakh tweets and add to the conversation. Next slide. So again, post test and feedback. You will have to do the post test and feedback. So when you can do either when you leave it and by clicking the continue, or you will be sent a post test link which you have to open and complete. So the post test is to know how much you have learned after these sessions. So your answers should be better after the post test. Okay, next. So this is the first presentation which speaks about what is violence against women and what is Dheera. Now we'll speak about what what are the types of violence against women? Shriman? Sriman? Yeah. So this second presentation is types of violence against women. Next slide. So in the types, in the last presentation itself, we have told there are basically 3 types: physical, psychological, and sexual, etc. So the physical violence, again, 4 different types is acid attacks, honor killings, femicide, and sexual violence. Then lot of things come under this psychological violence, like financial manipulation, emotional abuse, bullying, stalking, eve teasing, criminal intimidation. Especially these 3, bullying, stalking, and eve teasing, they come in your age group also. Many of you either must have seen or faced these kinds of violence. Then a combination of physical and psychological is generally seen in the setup of homes, that is domestic violence. Okay, next. Next, this is about registration, pre-test, post-test, and feedback. Next. This is physical violence. Okay, next. So acid attacks, when we talk of acid attacks, I think you all must have, most of you must have seen the movie Chapak with Deepika Padukone. Actually, that is the story of this courageous lady whose name is Miss Lakshmi Agarwal. What happened? Lakshmi was attacked at the age of 15 years. After rejecting the advances or the romantic advances of a man who was 32 years old. Just because she said no, what did he do? He poured acid on her face. So she was totally disfigured. She suffered lot of physical and mental and psychological effects. But what did she do? She fought it in the courts, for almost 10 years. And then she helped amend the law so that no one can sell or buy acid, and that the jail term which is given to this acid attacks were very small actually. So she helped increase that punishment or the jail term which was given by the courts because of the acid attacks. So what is acid attack? It is because of, it involves throwing a corrosive substance onto another. Do you think it is right? Just because someone has refused to accept your love proposal, or your marriage proposal, or some demand, to throw acid is most inhuman. So, but they do happen. You must have read in newspapers and movies, etc. Next. So what can you do when there is an acid attack? Suppose if someone threatens or attempts an acid attack, don't take it lightly. It has to be reported, and you keep away from that person, travel with others, and you know that there is very clear section 326B IPC, wherein imprisonment not less than 5 years up to 7 years can be there for a person even threatening acid attack. If someone threatens acid attack, it is such a serious crime. And if there is an attack, immediately one has to go to the doctor. And you have to report the attack to the adult, the parents, police, and always stay away from the perpetrator of this crime. And if there is an attack, so there is another section 326A IPC, which leads to imprisonment of not less than 10 years. This is what Lakshmi Agarwal had done, fighting in the courts to increase this to 10 years. Okay, so next slide. What is honor killing? Paru Hatya. Honor killing has happened in our state, Miryalguda. If you remember, there was one couple who had done love marriage, and the girl's parents, especially father, did not like that the girl married out of caste. So what did he do? He had killed the husband of the girl when the girl, his daughter himself was pregnant, and they were going to a hospital, and they killed the husband of that girl. Why? Because she brought dishonor to the family. So the simple reason that they have married out of caste and out of, when the parents are not willing for the match, that itself has led to the murder. of the individual. So these types of violence is called honor killing. This is nothing but violence against women. Murder of an individual, either as an outsider or a member of family, which is used to protect the reputation of the family, because you believe that victim brings disrepute to the family. This is honor killing. Next. Femicide. Femicide is because you hate one person because she's a woman. The simple reason that she's a woman or a girl, some people hate and they commit crimes. So again, it need not be as an adult woman. One example is aborting the girl baby when when the mother is pregnant. That is just because it is a girl. It is an example of femicide. Next. Sexual assault. Sexual assault is when a man sexually touches a woman or compels her to get naked forcefully without any consent. It is even this, even telling a woman to do so is punishable under section 354 IPC, because it causes lot of mental trauma to the victim. And whenever you see such an act, you hear such an act, you have to call for help, or you have to tell your parents, or even police 100, dial 100. And there are acts like Nirbhaya Act and section 375 IPC, which protect women against any type of rape. And 354A IPC protects against harassment, even sexual harassment, and unwanted physical contact. If you touch a girl or a woman without her consent, in unsafe way, that itself can lead to punishment. And there is POCSO Act, which protects minors. Who are minors? Who are less than 18 years. So there is a special act which is very serious, and the courts act very quickly to punish. So such whoever do such acts. Next slide. So if you are a survivor, who is a survivor? Whoever faces this violence can be a survivor. So generally what happens is, whenever someone does kind of teasing or bullying or sexual assault, what happens is, most of the times the survivor feels ashamed. Who should feel ashamed? Survivor or the abuser? One who does should feel ashamed, or one who is facing should feel ashamed? The one who does has to feel ashamed. But generally in our society, the survivor is made to feel ashamed and hide herself somewhere and not complain. So if you are a survivor, do not shame yourself. You are not to blame. Do not take bath or wash yourself. Do not change your clothes. Write down whatever has happened in a order, and inform the police, if not your adults, but don't keep it in a to yourself. Report in a timely manner, because punishments happen only if you report in a timely manner. And do not be afraid to speak up. And rest of us, what we should do, we should believe that person. We should give confidence that it is not your fault. You are not alone. This courage we have to give to the survivor. Next slide. Then this is all the physical violences. Then comes the psychological violence. Next slide. So financial manipulation is like, here you can see the picture. The man is taking the purse and he is giving some money to the wife or woman in the house, controlling the money, controlling the control of giving money. This happens in many homes. See this, in this example, there is an example here. Raj monitors his wife Ananya's bank account, and he doesn't let her buy what she wants. Ananya is working, but still he doesn't allow her to do whatever she wants with the money. And Raj's parents also don't let Ananya go to work. You may think this happens in many homes. What is the big deal? But this is also a kind of psychological violence. Next. Then comes the emotional abuse. Emotional abuse is like name calling, damaging the partner's relationship with children, cursing or using foul language, not letting the person see the friends or family. Again, another example is given here. Shreya is married to Ashok, whose colleagues mock him because he's earning less. So what does he do? Where does he take his frustration? He drinks and he has this lot of anger. Again, there are movies which have highlighted anger issues and how the hero hits and abuses the heroine, and he has anger, he has drinking problems. So what does he do? He yells and blackmails Shreya. He even beats her and threatens her that he'll divorce her. And this constant fault finding behavior of Ashok, what does it do? It affects the health of Shreya. So suppose he's not beating but doing all the other things. Is it not violence? It is violence. Nothing but emotional violence. So all these things here in the example of emotional violence. So what do you think Shreya can do? Just tell us in the interaction or put it in the chat box. Next. Bullying. Again, see, bullying is something which you have to be aware. What is bullying? It is continuous harassment, either verbally or physically. It can be online bullying also. These days, all of you have social media accounts, WhatsApp, Instagrams, Facebooks. So, or ragging. One example is ragging, which used to happen in colleges. Juniors, seniors ragging juniors. So all this is nothing but bullying. So again, another example is here. Neil is there, who is a senior, who asks Ria, who is the junior, to come out with him, and Ria rejects him. So what does he do? He feels his pride is hurt now. Now he starts a rumor that Ria is a slut, and he starts to harass her every day, calling her fat, ugly, and other such derogatory terms. Not only this, what does he do? He goes along with his friends to her house. He throws eggs at her house, pours water on her homework, and he provokes all his children into teasing her whenever they see her. These were common happenings in schools and colleges. Even now it may happen, it might have been happening. So now whenever you see this, you are not going to keep silent. What do? You have to help Priya, or you take some action, and you just think who can you contact in such situations. Next. Next slide. I have been telling about cyberbullying. So whatever this bullying, what we have discussed, if it happens online, then it is called cyberbullying. So what do they do? You can send abusive messages on WhatsApp. You can create a fake profile and post all vulgar pictures of your friend to trouble her, or you can share all wrong information or rumors about your friend, saying that her character is not good, or she roams around, or she's ugly, and all such things, and sharing sexually explicit messages. All these are not something very minor or harmless. They're all they can be punishable. They are as damaging as physical violence. And did you know that females are 2 times more likely to be victims of cyberbullying? It's not that only girls are victims. Online media, even boys can be victims, but females are 2 times more likely to be the victims of this cyberbullying. So some examples are here, like exclusion, gossip, frapping, harassment. See the words, such new terms: outing and trickery, cyber stalking, creating fake profiles. All these are examples of cyberbullying. Next slide. So now you are being cyberbullied. Someone is troubling you online. What do? Do you remove your profile and just close your account? It is not necessary. So you have to be safe while you are posting your pictures or talking online or making friends with strangers. You have to take care. You have to have a safe behavior. That is one thing. Second thing is, whenever you are being cyberbullied, you have to get into contact with the customer service representatives. Like if it is Facebook, the Facebook has the customer service, or they have this option of reporting this person or this message. So you have to do that. And then what can you do immediately to save yourself? You can block that person. Whoever is bothering you, you can immediately block and report that person. And you can take the screenshots of those abusive messages or bad messages. You can take, or pictures. You can take screenshots so that they will be helpful whenever you make a complaint. And there is a cyber cell in police in every state. There are numbers. Okay, and you can file a criminal complaint. It is again not something very simple thing. I mean, people cannot get away by doing this. You have to report. There is a cyber investigation cell, and if not, you can't do that. You can report your elders or teachers or even police or parents, anyone, but don't be silent about it. Okay. Next. Next slide. So then comes stalking. Again, this was very common when we were young. Even I think even now this happens quite often. So if a boy or a young teenager or a male or a man, anybody, most of the times it is the women who are facing. That is the reason we are telling this. So what is he doing here? He's stalking her. He's continuously following her. He's trying to contact her without consent. And this can happen even online also. And this is punishable under 354D IPC. There is imprisonment of 3 years. So another example is there is Sanjay who is 17, who follows around Meera who is 17 again. He goes wherever he goes, she goes. He learns her everyday routine. If she goes to tuition, he goes there. If she goes to movies, he goes there. And his friends all they encourage him. He compare them to popular hero. And in movies, what do they project? If the hero tries hard, if the hero follows the heroine, finally the heroine accepts. That is a wrong message given by the movies. So what does it make? Meera feels very uncomfortable. Don't you feel uncomfortable if someone follows you without your wish and will and consent? So this is definitely punishable. And you just think and tell us what Meera can do, or what if you see such incidences, what you can do. Next. This is voyeurism. Again, I give repeatedly example of a movie, Drishyam. Drishyam movie, I think 1 and 2 you have seen. That Drishyam is based on voyeurism. What does the guy do? He records a video of that girl when she's taking a bath, and then he blackmails the family, the mother and the girl, and it ends up in murders. So this watching and taking pictures of women without consent and without the knowledge of women, this is voyeurism. And again, it is punishable. Next. Eve teasing. Again, I'll not go into it in a detail. Like, cat calling, whistling, singing songs, making all some sexual remarks. Suppose a girl is standing in a bus stop, in a school bus, or in a college, in a movie, kind of making all sorts of funny or not funny remarks, to gain the attention. That is called eve teasing. It is in an obscene way. Nobody wants to be talked to like that. So it is punishable and it is a violence. So all these come under violence against women. Now you must be understanding why we are talking about all these things. Next. Shriman, next. Then criminal intimidation is like if you don't agree to my demand or I love you, you have to accept my my love. Otherwise, I may kill myself or I may kill you. I will kill you if you don't accept my demand. That is nothing but criminal intimidation. And the imprisonment, even for simple threatening like this, can be 2 years. Okay. Next. Sexual harassment is like the pictures are self-explanatory. See how the man is touching, shoulders, buttocks, or on the chest, trying to hug, trying to kiss. All these are sexual harassment. They come under unwelcome sexual advances. They are all of them come under sexual harassment, and it is punishable under section 354A IPC. So next, I'll skip this example. I think I'm getting delayed. Next. And then combination. Next. This is domestic violence, which happens mostly at a home, mostly between wife and husband. And most of the times this is accepted by the society. It is very common. The woman must have done something, so the husband has scolded her. The husband has beaten her. He beats only when he drinks. So it happens in many, many homes, especially in, we can't say that poor homes. When it happens in poor homes, it comes openly, whereas when it happens in rich societies or people who are economically strong, there it doesn't come out in the open. It happens behind the doors. We never know what is happening behind the doors. So it is very much common, this domestic violence. Next. So these are the examples. Most of the times at home, what happens? The male uses his privilege. I am male, I am the husband, and he will use the children, and then he uses techniques like isolation. If you do this, you go to your maternal home. If you do this, I am not going to give money. If you do this, I am going to divorce you. You are always like this. You are unlucky for me. Because of you, I am not able to progress in life. All these are examples of emotional abuse, which happens day in, day out in most of the homes which face domestic violence. And women's health is affected because of this constant emotional, physical abuse. Next. So again, in domestic violence, what happens is that violence happens. Then what happens? The husband or partner kind of asks for forgiveness. He says, I have done out of anger, or because I am drunk, I won't repeat it. Again, there will be a period of honeymoon. They'll be together. Again, the tension rises. Again, he does this abuse. Again, apologizes. Again, remorse. Again, it happens. So in most of the homes which have domestic violence, the woman does not leave the home because of this cycle of abuse and because of the presence of children, and because she thinks husband is doing only whenever he is angry, or whenever my mistake is there, whenever drinking problem is there, all this. So it goes on and on and on. It is a cycle of abuse. Next. So there is another act the government has brought about, Domestic Violence Act in 2005, which grants protection to the person who is facing it and punishes the abuser with imprisonment, even if his husband or father or any member of the family, up to 3 years. Next. So that ends the types of war. It was lengthy, but I hope you remember war is not just physical. It can be emotional, it can be psychological, it can be financial, it can be eve teasing, so many things. It can be domestic violence, and it is there everywhere. And what we have to do, we have to take one step at a time. Dheera is one step, we believe, very important step, because we are talking to you young people who, if you imbibe this concept that it is not acceptable, that it is prevalent, but it is not okay to do violence or to tolerate violence, that would be the important step. Next. So this ends this second presentation. Again, I remind you regarding the post-test, and that you will receive this beautiful certificate. All of you complete the post-test and get the certificate. Now I hand over to Shailaja. You will be taking the next.
Yes, madam.
So Dr. Shailaja will now tell you about management of this violence. Now I have told what are the types and all. Now how to manage this? You must be wondering, what are we going to do learning all this? So she'll tell you what at your age and stage you can do to manage this. Ajay sir, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Ajay sir.
Hi, good
So you
morning.
have something
Can
to
I
say?
just take another
Yeah,
5 to
yes,
7 minutes before
Yes.
Shailaja? I have your permission.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Please.
Okay. Yeah, a very, very good morning to each and every one of you who are here in the program. A big namaste to all the teachers and the principal of the school. A huge congratulations to Swaropa for having made this possible. And the team of faculty who has been here and has been a constant support for all the programs that we have been doing so far. So let me call out the names of Shailaja, Padmaja, Kiranmai, who have made this possible for us going forward. Students, I need to clap each one, for each one of you, because, and please give a big clap, a round of applause for each one of you, because I'm proud to state that this is the first time that 4 schools together are doing this program, and this has been singularly achieved because of the hard work of each one of the organizers and your principals who have made it possible. So I need to give a loud shout out to Mr. Praveen, Sister Renette, Mrs. Bhagyalakshmi, and Mr. Balaji, the principals of your school who have made it possible. Can I call you all, each one of you, to say a few words before I take over and continue further? The principals, can we have a one word or couple of words from you before we carry on? Because it is important that we hear from you about this entire initiative and what message you would like to give to your students on this open forum. Any one of you, Sister Renette, would you like to go first? Or Mr. Balaji or Mrs. Bhagyashree? Whoever wants to go first, please go on.
Good morning, everyone. So first of all, I can. So first of all, I congratulate the team for the arrangement you have done. It's really a very valuable program that you are imparting to the students who are the future citizens of our country. So I invite all the students who are attending this to develop a spirit of acceptance and respect each other. So unless and until you respect and accept each other, we will not have an equilibrium in the society. So I hope this program will enrich all the students to develop a spirit of acceptance and respect, which will be developing a proper equilibrium in the society. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sister Renette. Anyone, please? Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Biggest matter, essentially. Yes, we are very happy. Yes, yes.
Yeah. Praveen sir is going to talk to you, sir.
Yeah.
Principal of Radhakrishnan School.
Yes, thank you.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, madam. We are very happy that we have a very good program in our school. We really thank the coordinating and cooperative team of MSOG and Mancherial, Dr. Priyadarshini madam and Dr. Patna madam have come to our school, and very good coordination from Dr. Swarupa of Mancherial that we could conduct this program. And I'm sure all the girls and boys of our school, 9th and 10th students, they are all benefited, and we hope every year these programs like this will continue so that there will be a very good awareness among children. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all your efforts.
Thank you, Mr. Praveen. Thank you. Yeah, Mrs. Bhagyashree, go please. I see you're ready. We can't hear you.
Yes, sir. Yes, please tell me.
No, I'm saying Mrs. Bhagyashree is speaking, or somebody, we can't hear you.
Samantha madam.
School. This is Praveen Kumar, principal from Dr. Radhakrishnan School.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't think other two principals are available.
I'm not too sure if We can't hear.
Sir, Dr. Swarupa is saying the other two principals that don't seem to be around.
Okay, okay, that's fine. That's fine. So anybody in their place would like to speak? Otherwise, we carry on with the program.
Samantha, madam? Can't hear you, madam. You're muted. On the system, you have to unmute yourself, Samantha, madam.
You have to unmute, yeah.
And you have to unmute yourself. You're speaking in the mic, but in the system, you are muted.
Is now
Yeah, you can speak without the mic. I think you'll be able to. We'll be able to hear you.
Samantha, madam, you want us to go ahead? There's resound in your voice. We can't hear what you're saying. Swarupa, madam, shall we go ahead?
Yeah, we'll go ahead, ma'am.
Okay. Good morning, children. I am Dr. Sailaja. Kiranmay madam told you what is violence against women and what are the types of violence against women. Now I'm going to tell you, once we see or face an act of violence, what do we do?
Sorry, Shailaja. Did the principal speak? Because I was on the call.
No, sir. Two principals you heard speaking, the other two are not available.
Okay. I would just like, before you start, I would just like to say a couple of more words. Please bear with me. Two very important things. First, and we are extremely delighted that this, the schools would like to carry on this program going forward. So into that effect, we will be very, very happy to share all the presentations with the school authorities. So all the 6 modules will be given to you, and you can form a small group of core team members of teachers led by the vice principal or the principal. And these teachers can in turn orient the other teachers within the school with the 6 modules. And between the teachers, they can have a schedule worked out so that they can keep carrying on with this program going forward. Because now the 10th will go to 11th and 11th will go to 12th. Similarly, 7th and 8th will come to 9th and 10th. So you have a continuous chain of students coming into that age bracket for them to know and understand this entire aspect of stopping violence against women. So you can, at your own pace, at your own will, at your own commitment, carry on this program in your school, because all these presentations and slides are available with you, and your students can keep benefiting from this entire program going forward. So that is one of the key achievements that we would like to leave behind with each one of you over here, and for the benefit of the students. Should you require our help or Swarupa's help or the team's help, do let us know, and we will be able to help you going forward also. The second thing that I want to let the students know, that as you are stepping into, the next stages of your life, you are preparing for life, you are preparing for reaching your goals in life, you're preparing for, being not only a good citizen, but also aiming to be a good parent, a good, friend, a good colleague. These are the value systems that you should keep following as you go forward. Now, all of this is a very serious topic, but Do not forget to enjoy yourself. Do not forget to love yourself, because if you love yourself and if you enjoy yourself, I think you would have arrived in life. See, money is a byproduct. Money will keep coming and keep going. You'll earn some, you will lose some. But if you're not happy inside, and if you're not contributing to what you are supposed to be contributing for your own self and your near and dear ones, you will not be happy. So no matter how much money you have, it's going to have no consequences, and it will not really go to help you going forward. And the last bit is very, very important, is that whatever you do, and you are at the right age. Nobody gave us this guidance when we were your age. Please remember, nobody gave us this guidance when we were your age. But going forward, it is very, very important that each one of you, write it down in your book for your own self. What is your life goal? I'll repeat, for your own self, write it down in your book somewhere for your own self. What is your life goal? Which can keep changing. So do not worry. A life goal is not static. It is dynamic. It can keep changing. Write down your life goal. And and that life goal need not be that I will become a managing director of a country, of a company, or I'll become ABC and I will earn X amount of money. Your life goal could be as simple as that I would like to take my parents on a holiday. Your life goal could be, I would like to build a temple in my home village, and I would like to do something over there. I would like to leave a legacy in the name of my parents. It could be anything. Please write that life goal down. Do not lose focus of that life goal, and keep on the sides working for it, because that is what is going to make you happy. And once you are happy about what you're doing, everything else will fall in place. With those words, thank you very much, each one of you, for having us here. And on behalf of our president, Dr. Shanta Kumari, who is the lead person for this program, and we would like to thank her and the entire team once again for having us here and making this program possible. And I'm absolutely delighted by the success of this program and what I hear from each one of you. So all the very best. Please carry on, Shailaja. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ajay Mane sir. 1 second. Dr. Bhagyalakshmi ma'am wants to talk few words. This is
very
Dr.
good.
Samata, President of Manchiral Society, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Bhagyalakshmi ma'am Srimati Bhagyalakshmi ma'am of 7 schools would like to share few words.
Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Shantakumari ma'am and all the other members who have organized such a nice program for our school children. And I'm happy that you have taken this as a nationwide program. And we hope that it works out on the children and we have a better future, ladies and young girls in future. And this means we hope the children have understood that they have to dream great and that they have to love themselves. When you love yourself, you will see that you are not in problems and you will be taking all the safety precautions to be on the safe side. And even the people who are causing some harm to the other girls or ladies, they'll also, when they love themselves, they'll always think that they should be away from the troubles and they should be away from the criticism that they are getting from the society, and to see that they do only right things for us to have a happy nation. And we can have a happy nation only when everybody are happy. And each one has to cooperate to see to the happiness of the adjacent person or the neighborhood people and the society. Only then we can have a happy nation. So once again, doctors, sir, that you all have taken this nice program. We thank you very much. And we hope that you'll be having these programs at some intervals again after once in 6 months to refresh the children to do something nice. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your kind words and your addressing everyone. Shailaja and Swarupa, we can continue with the program. Thank you so much, each one of you.
Thank you, Bhagilakshmi Madam, for those encouraging words, and Ajay sir for that inspiring message. I'm going ahead with my next presentation.
Sure.
Sorry for the interruption. Hello. Hello.
Madam, please.
Hello.
Good morning, children. Kiranmai Madam told you what is violence against women and how many different types it is being unfortunately done in our society. I'll be dealing about the management strategies. We'll be telling you about how we manage, how we bridge gender divide, and what is the role of bystanders. A reminder again for your post-test and feedback, just as you have done your registration and pre-test, after this entire session is completed, you have to do your post-test and feedback to get the certificate from Foxy and UNICEF. Why exactly this tree of violence against women has found such strong foothold in our society? There are many factors which contribute to this, many roots of this bad practice, like addiction to alcohol or drugs, or lack of compassion on the part of the person, superiority complex, like thinking I'm very great, I can control anything, I'm the boss, and everybody else have to listen to me. Or it could be troubled childhood, the way a child is brought up in his childhood, if he is ill-treated, not properly taken care of. Most of us and most of you are fortunate enough that our parents are taking good care of us. We are studying in good schools and our teachers are taking great efforts, especially during COVID times. It was a very difficult situation for the teachers, taking care of their things at home, taking care of the students online and sending them messages. Many children, even today, are not fortunate enough to have such luck. They can be stress issues or anger issues. They can be gender bias or social discrimination, which could be causing this. As I told you, this war mindset is nurtured since childhood based on the way a child is brought up. If a child sees his father ill-treating his mother, he grows up thinking that it's okay for a male to ill-treat a woman. A male should be the controlling person. If he sees his mother or sister accepting that violence, that girl will think, maybe this is the way it should be. I also should grow up like this. That is not the right way to bring up a child. What should we do if we know that someone else is being abused or it happens in front of our eyes? Number thing, don't be afraid and listen to the victim's story compassionately. Help them to stay brave, and very, very important, believe what the victim is telling you. Do not blame the victim. Do not say, why did you have to go alone? Why did you have to go at night time? That person never wanted to face that situation. She went there because she needed to. It was the mistake of the other person who is perpetrating this act of violence, not the mistake of the victim. You should understand that. Just remember to keep an eye on the situation to make sure that it is not getting too dangerous for the victim or yourself. Ask the victim what exactly they want to do, what their immediate plans are, how they are going to do about it. Report to somebody you trust. It could be your teacher, your parent, or police. And always respect the decision of the victim. If they don't want to report, it is their decision. If they want to report, support them. And always have resources to keep the conversation going. It's very easy for a victim who is facing this situation to go into a panic situation, get depressed. Keep talking to them, help them be brave, and be careful that any action taken by you does not harm you or the victim. What if you yourself are being abused? First, recognize the toxic behavior of the cycle of abuse and protect yourself by going away from that site, leaving from the vicinity of the abuser. Avoid doing anything which will worsen the situation. And as I told you, report it to an adult. And if it is possible, you take pictures or take videos of that situation and keep it as an evidence. Suppose you have to go out alone, you can't avoid it, keep a safety kit with you. Something like pepper spray or anything with which you can protect yourself in a bad situation. And please come out and tell somebody you trust about the abuse. Don't keep it to yourself. Can be anybody, your friend, your neighbor, doctor, aunt, police officer, anyone. Just come out and tell them about the abuse you have undergone. Don't let the abuser rob you of your voice. We understand that claiming your voice back is difficult in such a situation, but trust me, your words have power. Only if you speak up, that will be the first step to put an end to this violence against women. And always remember, the person who is the culprit is not a brave person. Only a meek-hearted person who is not brave at heart does these acts of cowardice. You take a stand, your abuser will get scared and step back. You'll be at least preventing repetition of this act, because once someone commits abuse, they are prone to doing it again and again. Please do not let down another generation of victims. Give the victim a platform to speak, believe them, don't blame them, and just stand up for justice. It's wrong to say, did you provoke them or did you really scream? We should never be going out alone. That's what boys always do. Boys are boys. These are the wrong things to say. Support the victim and help her come out. The last 2 years, you've all been having online classes in this COVID era and have been using a lot of technology. You have known how to use your mobile devices and other electronic gadgets. You have been using your Facebooks, Twitters. There are a lot of safety apps. Familiarize yourself with them and share your live location with your family, with people you trust. Suppose you're getting into an auto or a taxi, you're alone. Just make sure you're taking a picture of the license plate and the taxi or auto driver. Show them that you are taking the pictures and sharing it with your family. That will scare him, prevent him from doing anything wrong. In case of emergency, always activate your location and share it with your family. Suppose a person is not in a position to verbally communicate that they are in danger and need help. This is the universal distress signal. Just raise your hand, tuck your thumb and trap the thumb with your 4 fingers. This is the universal distress signal you all must remember. And if you see this distress signal, please understand that person is not in a position to communicate you verbally, tell you that they are in danger. Just check whether that person is safe, find out what the problem is, what you can do. And if you find the situation dangerous for yourself, call the local police and the helplines I'm telling you now. These are the numbers you must save in your phone. Delhi helpline numbers, All India Women helpline numbers, Women's Domestic Abuse helpline 181. Save these numbers in your phone so that you can call immediately when necessary. And importantly, child line number, that is 1098. Easy to remember, 1098. Domestic helpline number 181. Child helpline number 1098. Take a screenshot of this. Save these numbers in your phone to call when necessary. And what is the reporting process? Must report the incident to the local police or special police unit and record your statement within 24 hours. Go to a hospital to be examined by a lady doctor. Record your statement for the magistrate, and the special court will certainly complete the trial within 1 year. Girls have always been strong. So let us not change that. Let us keep the girls that way and help them be strong and brave. A reminder again for your post-test and feedback. And our target is to have 1 lakh tweets on the Twitter. Tweet hashtag Dheera together to say no to violence against women. Children, all of you saw me showing the universal distress signal, which is used when a person is not in a position to speak up and tell us that they are in danger. Can all of you raise your hands and show me the universal distress signal? All students, raise your hands and show me the universal distress signal. Radha Krishna School, the video is off. Yes. Raise your hand, tuck your thumb, tap your thumb. That is the universal distress signal. All over the world, this is the common signal to communicate to anyone that I am in danger. Please help me. You go home, tell your parents, tell your neighbors, your sisters, your aunts, show them, teach them the universal distress signal. This might help someone who is in danger. I'm going ahead and doing my...
Sailaja, we have Ushodaya school principal and student want to have a few words. Shall we listen to them?
Yes, madam.
Ushodaya school, can you unmute the computer?
Please unmute yourself, sir.
Yes,
Unmute it.
please go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Just.
We can hear you.
Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Wants to talk.
Good morning, Monato, and I'm very much thankful for the Dheera team and for to give a chance to participate in this Dheera program. And here, one of our students has some doubt and let us clarify. Thank you for the chance to.
She is Unnati Agarwal from 10th class. She wants to hand us.
Yes, sir.
Right. Get her.
So, Unnati Agarwal from 10th grade. I have this doubt saying that the war thing, is there some reason that this rate is more in India than in other countries?
That's a good question. It is not more in India or less in other countries. It is manifest in different forms in different countries and it is universal. So that is why we want the awareness to go on among everyone about acceptable behaviors and non-acceptable behaviors. Because the society keeps thinking that this sort of behavior is expected from a girl, from a boy. So they forgive abusive behavior and now we say it is not right to be treated like this. So we'd want that bias to go. It is not more in India. There are even other countries, even like if you see in the Middle East, Afghanistan and all, where women have very less rights. In Africa, where they're not allowed to speak. In US also, where women don't have a right on their bodies. If they don't want to carry a pregnancy, they're not allowed to abort. It is there even in places like Ireland, Dublin. If you heard some time back, there was a dental doctor who's of Indian origin who died because the government did not allow abortion because it was anti-abortion. And she was sick and she needed it. So this changed it. Why did it change? Because people spoke up. So that is what we want. We want a change in the mentality. We want change and we want people to speak up and say, we want the best. Got it? So it's not just in our country, it is everywhere.
There are some countries where women don't have the voting right. And you remember Malala Yousafzai, who got the Nobel Prize, she was fighting for the right to education which females don't have in her country. that we have in our country. We have the right to education. As Madam said, every female in India is allowed to decide whether she wants to become pregnant or not, which is not allowed in other countries. It's not that this violence is more in India. It's universal all over the world. Like Kiranmai Madam said, there are no geographical boundaries. They're all over the world. We have to fight it everywhere in the entire world.
And we are taking up India in a huge program, and I'm sure the world is watching us and will follow us.
Yeah, I'm sure. In fact, thank you very much for this nice question of yours. We appreciate young thinking minds. The very fact that you have attended this program and this thought has come to your mind means you are thinking about it and it is on top of your mind. So I will encourage every student to start thinking about it. And both the speakers of the faculty have already said that it is not, it's not confined to India, it is universal, whether it is a developed country or a developing country. And stop violence against women doesn't mean only physical. We have already talked about it earlier. It could be emotional, it could be psychological, it could be any financial, it could be any manifest in any form. And you see those manifestations in those forms in every country across the world. So it is not just, men have to change and accept reality. It is also women who have to, change and accept the reality and ask for their rights, which doesn't mean to fight back. It doesn't mean to stand against it. There are various ways of getting your rights. And I think India is one of the most progressive countries in the world who has an abortion law since 1970, okay, where countries still do not have and struggling to get a law. And as my colleagues have already said, including getting equal pay in jobs, that brings me to good. You all know about tennis, right? Now, tennis is happening in the world's most developed countries. And if you see the pay grade, women pay grade is lower for winning compared to men's pay grade. So all these things are there, and we are continuing to build a noise. We are continuing to build a voice. So let us hope that this voice carries on, and few years down the line, we have something which is acceptable to all of us. Yeah.
There's another girl who wants to speak. May I know the name of the first girl who spoke?
Agarwal, madam. Unnati Agarwal. Unnati Agarwal. She's from 10th
The name, please.
Unnati Agarwal.
Unnati Agarwal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another girl. Sorry for the interruption again.
Yeah, no problem. This is for you.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
9th class. What is the purpose here to see the girls in inequality?
Sorry?
We didn't get you.
Why we have to see the girls in inequality?
We don't want to see inequality.
We want gender equality. We don't want to
equality.
see equality.
So what are the steps?
Yeah, we will come to that.
That topic is still to be done. We'll come back to you. You speak to us after that session is over. Okay. Bridging gender divide is one topic which will be taken up.
Okay. Great. Wonderful.
Will I go ahead, sir?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Now we are taking up the role of active bystanders. Prekshakula Patra Enti. A reminder again for your post-test and feedback. Who exactly is a bystander? An individual in front of whom this act of violence is being done. He is not the person who is doing it. He is not the person who is the victim. He is the person in front of whose eyes this is happening. Any act of violence, discrimination, or other problematic behavior. There are two types of bystanders. One is an active bystander, one is a passive bystander. Active bystander is who will go ahead, go forward, try to help the victim and stop the culprit. And a passive bystander is one who will think, ఇంకెవరైనా హెల్ప్ చేస్తారు, నాకు టైం అవుతుంది, నేను వెళ్ళాలి, అమ్మో నేను ఎందుకు ముందుకు వెళ్ళాలి, నాకేమన్నా ప్రమాదం కావచ్చు. Like they don't act or intervene because they have fear of retaliation, because of social influence or audience inhibition. You should be an active bystander, and the weapons of active bystanders are the 5 Ds. Number 1, distract. That is not exactly a direct way. It is a subtle, indirect, safe way to intervene. If somebody is ill-treating a girl in front of you, you want to stop it. You're scared to go ahead and confront that person. You simply pretend to be lost, go there, ask where is this such and such place, or ask what is the time, or you pretend to know the person who is being harassed. Like, Sunita, I was just passing by and saw you. What are you doing here? Talk something irrelevant and take the attention of the harasser. The victim will relax, will get courage that there is somebody to help me, and it will distract the person who is committing the crime and the victim also. That is number 1. Number 2 is delay, which can reduce the severity of the act. Support the victim, ask her if she is okay, offer to accompany her to destination, or just don't do anything. Sit with her for a while. That can give her huge amount of courage that somebody is there. I can ask for help. Nothing will go wrong. She's there to help me. That is number 2. Number 3 is you're not in a position to directly help. You're in a bus. Somebody is ill-treating a female. You can ask the help of the bus conductor or your co-passenger to help. If you are near a shop, go to the shopkeeper and say, Uncle, that person is ill-treating my friend. Please help. If you are in a school, immediately contact your teacher and ask them for help. That is delegate. Number 4 is document. But you must try to document only if there is somebody else trying to help the victim. If there is nobody to help, use one of the first Ds, 3 Ds I told you. If somebody is helping out, check whether you are safe first. If you are safe, go ahead and start recording the event. But after recording, always remember, ask the victim or the person who was harassed what they want to do with that recording. Don't go ahead and post it online because she might not like the issue to become public. If the issue becomes public, she might feel everybody is looking at me. Look, everybody knows. She might feel bad. Don't increase her bad feelings by posting it online. Just ask her what she wants to do with that recording. Only with her consent, go ahead and do what she wants to do with it. Making it public can increase the trauma she is going through. That is not the way an effective bystander can help. The number 5th D is direct. Confronting the person who is doing it by going ahead and telling, look, this is wrong. You should not be doing this. It can be risky. He may redirect the abuse towards you. It might worsen the situation. Be clear that you want to do it. Be confident, but cautiously. So the 5 Ds are delay, distract, document, delegate, and direct. But the golden rule is only go ahead and help if it is safe for you to do. If you feel it is not safe, call the police or the child helpline number, that is 1098. There are more ways to get involved in this. You can organize actions like writing stories, posters, or arranging nukkad nataks, flash mobs regarding this. If you know that some organization is working for it, just donate your time and ideas to that organization. If you are not able to act like an active bystander, somebody else is practicing it, appreciate them. And what are the wrong things to say to the victim? I told you before also, never blame the victim. Don't say, why did you go at night? Or why did you park your scooter there? Please understand that she never wanted to face that situation. A reminder again for your post-test and feedback, after which you'll get the certificate from UNICEF and Foxy. And after going home, remember to tweet #Dheera together, saying no to violence against women, adding your courageous voice to our target of 1 lakh tweets. Thank you very much for your patient hearing. Any boy, you can come forward and tell me what are the 5 Ds? Two courageous girls came forward. Their photographs were taken. They'll be sent to the UNICEF. Which boy wants to get photographed? Any girl who can come forward? Tell me the 5. Yeah, one girl is coming forward. I can see a boy from Shodaya High School. You are sitting in an atmosphere where you are with your teachers, your friends. If you don't have the courage to speak here, it will be difficult to bring up your voice when somebody else is in trouble. Oh, wow. Another girl.
Unmute yourself.
Unmute yourself, ma.
Computer. Yes.
Yes. Go ahead.
My name is Mahati. I'm in class 10.
Yeah.
Yes.
There are some points they don't really. There are some gynec problems or any problems like periods or anything. Usually they don't talk with their family or boys, especially boys or their fathers at least. And next point is if someone is going through any teasing or any sexual harassment, girls just pass through it or they just don't take it seriously and they'll have some mental problems. Like they'll go through afterwards, they'll have anxiety or panic attacks. And the boy, they don't take it seriously. The boy will go and again harass some other girl. So why cannot we teach boys from now at least and after next
Yes.
we stop? Please.
Great. A big round of applause for Mahati. Yeah, we should be teaching boys also. In fact, it is true that we have always had the habit of teaching girls about menstrual hygiene. A girl was asking me the other day, why can't we teach the boys what exactly is menstruation? They'll understand what a girl is going through. More than girls, I think we should be teaching the boys about menstruation, what the girls go through. It's not a joke to be ill-treating a girl. You should understand how much of trauma she undergoes after facing such an incident. But remember, girls, only if you come forward and inform and speak in front of everyone that such and such boy ill-treated me, he'll stop doing it. No other girl will face it in future. If you keep mum, he'll repeat it with some other girl. If you see him ill-treating another girl, you keep quiet. Tomorrow it might be you yourself facing that situation. You should have the courage to come forward and say. I can see a boy from CBSE Mancherial. He's written it down.
Anybody wants to talk?
Yeah, go ahead.
Any doubts? Anybody wants to ask anything?
Yes, Caramel CBSE Mancherial. I can see a boy who has come forward.
Good morning, everyone. Over here. I'm speaker of 10.
I can see you. Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Over here.
Swarupa madam, there is a resound. We can't hear what he's saying. Swarupa madam, you are logged in through your phone, I suppose. You can he can speak through your phone.
Good morning, everyone.
No. Yeah, Ushodaya High School. Yes, ma, you want to say something?
They're trying, Shailaja. Just let this boy talk and then Ushadaya, just one moment. Please go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Present over here.
Yes, now we can hear you well.
Good morning.
I'm Srikar from 10th A.
Okay.
Okay.
The 5 Ds are distract, direct, delegate, document, and delay.
Yes.
Thank you. So we have someone from Ushodaya.
Yeah, someone wants to speak from Ushodaya.
Thank you, Srikar.
Unmute yourself, ma.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, I want to ask the question regarding girl safety. The girls are feeling that there is no safety for the girls. Is it true? Why the society is not conducting any martial arts regarding girls?
Madam, can you hear her? I can't hear her.
Yes, she is talking about safety of girls and why are girls not taught martial arts to defend themselves. So that is a thing on an individual basis. I feel everyone should know, because as such, the society we feel is becoming, violence perpetuates itself. So there is a toxic environment, there is violence, the response is violence. Like if you see that, so defensive mechanisms to defend is not only for the girl, even the boy should be able to do that, because we expect them to stand up against rowdy elements. It's not that everyone is violent. Understand that. If you are in your class, yes.
Padmaja, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
That was a really interesting question. I really, the students are taking it to another level, I should say. Why girls should not be taught martial arts? So I would like to answer it in a little different way. Now we want violence not to happen. Okay. Okay, the violence, whatever be the situation, place, country or society, whatever the girl wears, wherever she goes, whatever she does, we expect the males not to commit any violence. And the girl should be as safe as a boy, doing whatever she wants without any fear of facing violence. So when does this doing martial arts or learning martial arts comes out? It comes out from the fear that I may be attacked, I have to be ready. So that is one good thing in the present society. As long as this violence is there, we have to be ready. And as you said, it is individual discretion. And it is better if you learn martial arts. But we are looking at a society, ideal society, where a girl doesn't need to learn martial arts to live without fear. I hope that answers your question. Was I audible?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
A student from Radhakrishna School wants to have a...
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am. Please.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Satvika, 10th class from Radhakrishna School. I want to ask why everyone said to girls to be quiet or to be safe. Why not to boys? Why all rules are to only girls, not only boys? Yeah. We can say to boys to be. Very nice. I think, don't you think in these presentations we are addressing that issue, that we are telling the boys, yeah, actually the next presentation, you are actually ahead of us. All your young girls and boys are ahead of us. The next presentation, which I think Padmaja will take on gender.
Bridging the gender divide.
Bridging the gender divide is exactly will answer your question. Why we are telling only to girls?
We are telling about boys being ill-treated also. We are saying that not all men are doing this.
Yeah, no, Shailaja, the next presentation has 8 active steps to be taken by boys, what they can do, how they can change and respond. So I think the next presentation will answer that.
We have some more people coming forward, and that's pretty good.
The students from Seven Hills schools would like to talk, ma'am.
Yes, Survodaya High School, they have raised their hand. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning to one and all present here. I, Aisha Armin of grade 9. I would like to ask you a question. If I would be a survivor, how can I manage the situation?
Yeah, okay. In the management, there have been steps which were described for the survivor as well as people who are surrounding the survivor, and that is bystanders. So survivor, if she's strong, if she's, I should not say strong or courageous, if she can take steps to help herself, can definitely take steps to help herself by dialing 100 or she feels or telling parents or police reporting. Otherwise, it is it falls on the other members of the society as bystanders. the steps that they have to take as bystanders also have been told to you. So survivor, if she's up to it, she can take steps. Otherwise, it is to the rest of us to help her. Does that answer your question? We lost you, I think.
We have some more kids standing.
CBSE Caramel School, one girl will want to speak.
Yeah.
Caramel CBSE.
Yeah, Shailaja and Padmaja, there are two more presentations, right?
Yes, there are presentations.
Why don't we go ahead with the two presentations and then take up, because the two presentations are also very important from the point of gender divide and peer pressure. So there we are addressing the boys also, girls also. So we'll go ahead with the two presentations, and then if they don't have any problem, we'll take up the questions later.
Dr. Samata, can we ask the kid who is with you to, shall I finish the presentations and then again start? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
With the presentation.
Yes. Thank you so much. This is one of the most active and biggest, and 4 schools you are creating record of thoughts, and the Mancherial children are like, very, very active.
Absolute delight to be here and hearing it.
Yes, sir. Ajay, sir, it's really a privilege to be with these children today.
Okay. Starting with what the kids have been asking, why are we teaching only girls? So we want, it's not like that. We want equality. And I'm going to talk to you about gender divide. I'm Dr. Padmaja. I'm at Vijayawada. I grew up in Warangal, so I belong to both the states. And it's a great pleasure to be here. This is the initiative by Dr. Shantakumari. You've already done the registration and the pre-test. Do finish the post-test and feedback. You will get a certificate from UNICEF. So looking at these names, suppose there is someone who's called Shiva. So we automatically associate that name with a male rather than a girl. So basically gender is a socially constructed concept. What we want is when we look at human traits, we generally have a tendency to say that male should have some traits, female should have some traits. Suppose independent, we encourage boys to be independent right from their childhood. We tend to cozy our girls, we tend to pamper them and try to tell them, okay, don't get like you're more emotional or you're more creative, artistic, gentle. But what we are trying to do is that none of these traits are definitely male or female. It is the social norms that we are in, the environment that we are growing in, conditions a child who has the potential to be ambitious, creative, competitive, independent, a leader who's also artistic, learning, who loves doing mechanical things with toys, with cars, with wrenches, or a carpentry, something like that, to be either a male trait or a female trait. So this gender stereotyping is ingrained in our culture, and that becomes our habitual response. And most of the media, the social media and the films, they reward violent behavior. If you see in the fights, most of the time, it is the male protagonist who is fighting. Very rare movies we have like Bahubali where even the female fights, but most of the time it is the fight means it is automatically the hero who's portrayed with punching and thrashing up people. And we see that as parents also, if a mistake is made, if it is made by the son, he's more likely to be thrashed. If it is a girl, they're more likely just to be rebuked, and violent behavior is more likely to be tolerated in boys. And sometimes when girls say, I don't like this, I'm not going to do this, they're known as bossy rather than responsible. So we think, is this a social evil? Because I feel it is, because women are oppressed officially and unofficially. And this discrimination is starting very young, where the girls are expected to behave submissively. And in a household, like suppose helping in cooking and all, it is the girls who are expected to do these household chores. And in a family, when both partners make a child, it is the woman who is expected to leave work to raise those child. And quite a large number of families, boy babies are preferred. And there is as Ajay was also saying, there's a huge wage gap between men and women. And almost all places, some form of subtle sexual harassment is there in women. Women are worshipped by goddesses, but most of the time, even the tiniest of mistakes makes them being rebuked. This is not a level playing field. And as Dr. Selja was also telling, voting rights, equal access to education are not there for women. Quite a large number of places, child marriages and dowry is still prevalent. Women are not given equal opportunities and at work. And if there is a discussion, a man's voice is given more worth. Women have less access to financial situations. And as Dr. Kiranmay was telling, we do not have enough representation in politics and leadership. So what we want is to work together as allies, as friends, to create a gender neutral, gender responsive, equal society and eliminate this inequality and bias. Only then will we all have a society which moves forward. And among the boys also, what we're trying to tell is it is not always physical violence. We must be willing to take these active steps to make sure that there is elimination of the total violence. And one of the first steps is that we need to share the caring. Women do 3 times more unpaid and domestic work. And not only the physical work, even the emotional work of supporting all the family members. So whenever there is trouble, all of them talk to their mother and burden her. So appreciate the work that your mothers and sisters do for you. And it should be unconditional. Respect the sacrifices they made for you, and offer a tiny bit of help every day. So it can be as simple as just folding the clothes that are coming out from the wash area. And a small thing like telling your mother, I'm going to take the responsibility of the house, go for a movie. So that will make her undeniably happy. And one more thing is everyone should be held accountable for what they do. So we need to respect men and women equally and have a critical look at your own behavior, because then we will see what are we doing and we are accountable. So when there is something going wrong, be ready to accept criticism, and whenever you see any changes of this toxic behavior, be willing to change. Remember that the stresses in life are changing, the expectations are changing. So it is important that everyone is treated the same way. So we want men also to be able to express themselves. We don't want them to be strong all the time. We want these stereotypes to be broken. And the most important thing is, no, we shouldn't be respecting a man just because he's an alpha male. That means he's an aggressive male. Even sensible men, even soft-natured men, even caring men should be made heroes. And this will change the next generation, because men do break down. Men have anxiety. They do have emotions. They have their own insecurities. And so let's also support men, encourage men, not belittle them. And remember that they struggle too. So it is okay to ask for help. It is okay to cry. And most importantly, we need to respect the other person's choices. So if someone is making us uncomfortable, just you don't get those good vibes, you're not comfortable in this situation, ask yourself why. Is it because of a bias? Are the circumstances different? And most importantly, whatever the other person is making a choice, we are not living their life. We are not in their shoes. We are not coming from their background. So we shouldn't be judging and shaming them for their choices. And remember, consent is something freely given that can be changed, which comes after knowing the full information, enthusiastic and specific. So we should say that if a consent is given only when it's said yes. It's not like, okay, let me see, like words like that. We shouldn't say that implied consent is not there. Just because someone smiles at us doesn't mean that we can take liberties with them. So it shouldn't be that if a girl is friendly, she has lots of friends, we shouldn't be saying she's asking for it. And as Dr. Sailaja re-emphasized, never blame a victim if something goes wrong. If we see any incidents of sexual harassment or sexism, it is important that we call it out. We say that this behavior is sexism. Unless we call out for that, be an active bystander. And whether it is our friend, whether it is our co-workers, whether it is our family who is indulging in this behavior, unless we see it, name it, and stop it, this sexism and harassment will not stop. It is important that we challenge our own stereotyping, and especially statements are randomly made. Women are not good at driving. How can that be? Does the car know whether a man or a woman is driving it? A car is a machine. An intelligent person who is sensible in driving will always drive well. It does not matter who's driving it. So always counter the argument with facts, because you see, most of the road traffic accidents happen when there is an aggressive male driving it rather than a cautious female. And most importantly, whenever we don't believe a survivor, as that girl was telling, what to do if I'm a survivor? So if someone says that so-and-so person teased me, so-and-so person is following me, I'm not comfortable with this person's behavior, we need to believe them. So we need to listen, believe, and support. And the support should be unconditional, and we should be their friend forever. Someone reaches out, we reach out to them. Unless we do that, this toxic culture will flourish, and we need to change the dialogue. So if you see Google, as soon as you start typing, it will start giving you suggestions. So now when we type, women should, some of the most common things that come is stay at home, not work, be seen, not heard. So these should change if the behaviors change. So change the narrative, making it a gender neutral society. We can be anything at any point of time. As you kids are there, I see a lot of people from 9th and 10th classes, and now we are involving them. So you were a playful child, you are becoming, turning into a mature girl. You will go out into the world, you will be doing multiple jobs, you'll be staying in hostels, you'll be staying in your own homes, you will be cooking for yourself, managing time, repairing things that go wrong, and at some point of time, get married, have a family. So you can be anything at any time. So that is what we want girls to be doing. And as we've already told you, you've submitted the pre-test to the post-test. Give us the feedback. What we want is a courageous, together, loud voice to say no violence to women. And our target is 1 lakh tweets. So add your courageous voice to this conversation. So I hope I have addressed some of the issues that the girls were asking, why only we are being said. And Dr. Sailaja, do you want me to continue? Do we want to take any more?
Madam, you finish the next section, then we'll take introduction.
Okay. And this is continuing with the conversation we were having. Decoding peer pressure is how we want you to interact with your classmates, colleagues, and friends. In this, we are talking about what we want. The girl was telling, what should we do? So this is what we want you to do. We want you to identify toxic environment, differentiate between what is friendly, a good touch, and a bad touch. In a situation, when you're getting into, what is the other person telling? What is the concept of consent? And most importantly, understand the power of no. And as we were saying, you please do finish your post-test and feedback. And if you can see in this picture, all people are walking around bruised. Some new person enters into that group. Then it thinks, okay, fine, maybe this is the fashion, having scars, having tattoos, and being bruised. So deliberately, without knowing why all of them are bruised, he punches himself and he also walks around bruised, being a part of the group. Is this not so silly and ridiculous? So any influence that tries to make you conform to what things are around, the behavior and personal habits of a group, is called peer pressure. Most of the times it is subtle, but it can have ginormous effects. So peer pressure can be spoken, unspoken, direct, indirect, negative or positive. What we want you all to realize is peer pressure can also be positive. There is a competitive atmosphere. You're all having an essay writing competition. Everyone is participating in it. So you also, because everyone is writing, you're also going to be writing it. So you want to win the prize. So that peer pressure is having a positive influence. But if something feels wrong, every one of us knows inherently what is right or wrong. It feels wrong. But just because everyone is doing it, like they're all smoking, they hand you a cigarette and you also say, you know, it is wrong, but because you want to be accepted in that group, you also take some puffs. So that is wrong. So all these types of peer pressure are there. And we want you all to realize that toxic environment is a place which you need to walk out of. And any situation where you think your companions are your friends, but they make you feel bad, they say you can be friends with us only if you do this. You're not very sure whether you'll be welcome into the group, however you are. There is a constant gossip where therefore you have to continuously struggle to be a part of that group, where they don't respect your boundaries. And you're terrified that one mistake they'll make you leave it, and they bring out your worst trait. All these things are toxic environment, and these people are not your friends. They're only pretending to be your friends. So to avoid uncomfortable situations, what do? Avoid going out with total strangers. So in a situation, you're walking with your friend and your friend joins four other friends and they say, come along. So you don't know them. So don't make the mistake of going with them. And if you're going out, make sure that your parents and your siblings know where you are. Take your phone with you and draw boundaries, respect other people's boundaries. If you're not comfortable with any situation, be confident in yourself to say no. You can always dial the police number 100 if you have a sense of danger. So understanding toxicity is the first step to cleansing toxicity. So in boys also, if they're not respecting women and their feminism, avoid people who are not, if they can't respect the mother who brought them into this world and who cares for them, how can they be respectful to other people? So avoid those. Don't avoid boys who urge you, let's try, experiment. Are you not bold enough to do it? And pressurize you to send photos of whatever you're not comfortable with. Avoid boys who start fights. Avoid boys who use bad language. Avoid boys who look at a female only based on her physical appearance. And remember, you can be funny, but rape is not a joke. So anyone making sexual innuendos and jokes have to be avoided. It is not only boys who can have toxic environment, it is even in among girls. So whenever girls think it is unmanly for a man to express his feelings, who slap people who are totally materialistic, who call other girls bitches, who think, who don't think men can also be victims of abuse and rape. So even these environments, the girls need to be avoiding it. So basically, put yourself first and set your boundaries, whatever you are comfortable with. So when in a situation where you're not comfortable, you don't need to say, oh, I think you're bad, but you can use subtle hints like saying, I'm not comfortable with this, so we will come back to this. And you can say that I can only stay for half an hour. You can say, I respect your decision, but it is my life, my decision. And coming to good touch versus bad touch, speak out whenever you're not comfortable. The only place where any touch is acceptable is a shake hand or a namaste. So sometimes if you're really close, having a pat on the head or on your neck and shoulders is fine. But under no circumstances, without your explicit consent, is the chest area or the genital area allowed to be touched. If someone is behaving in that way, please report it. And consent is permission to do anything. So before you hug someone, you ask them, is it okay to hug you? So only when that, ask for that. Don't assume it is a consent. If someone says, no, let's not do that. Respect that consent and never coerce consent. So no means no, stop means no, showing away means no, saying I don't feel like it seems no. Yes is only when you explicitly say yes. And most importantly, if you don't want to do it, don't give excuses like maybe we'll look into it. If it is no, say no. And stand up to peer pressure. You can leave the scene, you can make an excuse, you can say, use humor, you can change the subject or suggest a better idea instead of going into a toxic environment. Always remember, trust yourself. You know what is right, what is wrong. It is never too young to respect women, and even girls with dreams will become women with vision. So look, our better future is the future, your generation, you're coming up and you are our future. Malala said, I want every girl to know that her voice can change the world. So that is what we want in the girls who are, and the boys. If there is something wrong going on, stand up, call it, stop it, and help. That is what we want, and that is the change we are looking for. Please submit your post-test and feedback. And a thanks to all those who helped. You can look at the team that worked, Team Dheera, all the doctors who worked for the material in the slides. And these are the number of people who worked behind the scenes to give us these beautiful presentations. So tweet together, 1 lakh voices, add your voice to the conversation. Thank you very much for hearing.
Thank you, Padmaja madam. That was a lucid, simple for the students. Students who want to come forward and speak. There were some students who wanted to speak.
Samta, there was someone with you. Can you unmute? You have to unmute at the computer, I think. Not this.
No, madam. The mic has to be on. Even if in muted state, we can hear them, but that mic is on.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes,
yes, madam.
Yeah,
go ahead.
1 second.
So myself, Keshanya.
Go ahead, we can hear you.
So I'm myself Keshanya from 10th grade from Channels High School. So I just want to say 3 points which can be verified by you. So firstly, body shaming. I want to ask that body shaming should be say no for especially girls. And
definitely.
Every girl can say no to the boys that they cannot be body shamed. And for boys too, they can also say no when they are being discriminated. And the second point, I want to say when a boy teases or imitates a girl, she can
complain to the elders, and she has the right to say no and to be against the boy. And thirdly, I want to say in the past few years, we can see many women has been coming forward and widespreading in the different aspects. And like you, women who are inspiring us to for motivation and also inspiring us. So I just want to say these 3 points. Thank you.
Thank you. So what we are saying is, all of us are made in different sizes, shapes. So we need to learn to accept our bodies, but remember that it is not okay to be unhealthy. So what we want is, we don't want everyone to be a model like Deepika Padukone. We're comfortable. You should be comfortable in your body, but remember that you should be healthy. Okay, so it is not okay to be 100 kgs and say, you don't shame my body. So it is unhealthy also. Be healthy and be fit and enjoy your body.
Excuse me, madam. Shraddha Sri from Radhakrishna Schools wants to ask something.
Yes, please.
Good morning, ma'am. Myself, Shraddha Sri from Dr. Radhakrishna School. Ma'am, it's usually said that...
Can you be a bit louder?
Ma'am, when a girl gets raped, it is usually said that she was raped because she was wearing some sort of dress. But she was never said that she was raped because a man raped her. Do you support the statement that a girl was raped because...
No. Irrespective of what a girl is wearing, a boy has no right to misbehave with her. Her dress should not decide in what way the boy is going to behave with that girl. She has every right to wear whatever she wants to wear, whatever she is comfortable with. That's what we are saying. The dress a girl is wearing should not decide the behavior of a boy. It's not okay to say that she asked for it, she invited it. She never invited it. She always has a right to wear what she wants to wear.
So that is the reason, like if something is going wrong, you see abnormal behavior, call it out, inform your older people, go to the police, seek help, because before it becomes a situation as bad as rape. Okay, so be alert about the situation and take proactive behavior. Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes.
Satvika wants to speak.
Yes,
Satvika
please.
from Radhakrishna School.
Yes, please.
Good morning, ma'am. My name is Satvika. I'm from Radhakrishna School. Why every man is unhappy when woman is higher position than a man?
Very nice. That's also very good.
Why men is unhappy?
So that comes basically with their insecurity and ability to accept change. So from the beginning, it was like, if you look at it, it was not like even in your house, it was not okay for your father to stay at home and look after you and your mother to go out for a job. So that is our social media that is there, but it is slowly changing. And even like you see, there are like a finance minister, central minister, Nirmala. She is the one who's running the finances of the entire country, and she's married. So we want that change. We want people to come up. And when there are more women in the top, then this jealousy will definitely come down.
Yes, and we should accept in this generation, there are some men who are staying at home, looking after kids while the woman is going out and supporting the family. We should applaud those men. And madam, before we go ahead, Swarupa madam, we have put up the link for the post test in the chat box. Please ask all the school people to copy this and paste it somewhere in the message box or something, that they can do the post test through that link.
Sure. Ma'am, a boy from Vishal from Radhakrishna School.
One second. Swarupa
Can
madam.
you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, madam.
Yes.
Yes,
madam.
We have a couple of students from Carmel Convent School, Arpita and Swecha, who want to give their voices. And madam, we will send the post test link to all the schools so that they can take the
We have
post
put
test.
up the post test link in the chat box. Freeman has put up the post test link in the chat box.
Maybe
let
we can
one person
send it.
from each school copy that and keep it aside in their WhatsApp message box or somewhere, so that they can pass it on to everyone.
Sriman, kindly send it to my
Yes,
personal.
please go ahead.
Sriman, please send it to my personal WhatsApp also.
Madam, I'll send it, ma'am.
Yes, please listen to Arpita from Carmel School.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Good morning.
Madam, one last question. This boy Vishal wants to say. Yeah.
Yeah. Good morning, ma'am.
Arpita, say it. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, first of all, good morning and thanks for organizing this meeting, ma'am. And my question is that we are facing when we are getting abused or being bullied by others of our school, you just suggested us to approach someone whom we trust the most. Usually we trust our parents so much, so if we approach them, sometimes they might take it wrongly and they might decide to stop our education. In such incidents, what should be our response? How should we react to that situation? That's my question.
I think your teachers will also be there. Huh? And even in schools, you have your close friends, your friends' brothers who are older, or friends of boy who teased you. So seek their help and tell, I'm unhappy. This behavior is not acceptable, because not everyone will have that abusive behavior. They might be willing to listen and help you. But it is always better you put in an inkling with your parents. And if you're not comfortable and you have a situation like that, do tell your teachers, because that is definitely going to be there. Your teachers are going to be there. Your mentors are going to be there. Some teacher, you will have a favorite person who is at your wavelength, your PT teacher or your science teacher. So take a personal appointment with them and talk to them, and I'm sure they will help you with finding a solution. Okay, Arpita?
Yes, and Arpita, we assure you, you can talk to Dheera also. We will give our personal numbers to help you out in such conditions.
Yeah, yes.
We'll try our best. Thank you, Arpita. Genuine question by you.
Thank you.
And now Swechha from Carmel Convent School.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, good morning.
I usually like to ask a question that mainly girls are not allowed to wear the dressing which they are willing to have, and always they are the way you are dressing. So the men will also look at you in such a way. So is it necessary the dressing of a woman is also it should be like you need to cover the whole body, and it shouldn't be you shouldn't expose everything. So is it necessary? I wanted to ask the question.
I have answered that question. Every girl has a right to decide what she wants to wear, and her wear should not decide how a boy behaves with her.
So, yeah, we understand that at some point of time in future, we are looking at a society where you are all old enough and you become mature, you teach your children that there is no gender bias, then every person will be allowed to wear what they want without a person being judged by their clothes. So that is the future we are looking for. Okay?
Ma'am, Vishal from Radhakrishna School wants to speak.
The whole essence of this program, where we are sensitizing the boys to respect women in the way they are. Allow them to be what they are. Accept the women and girls the way they want to be. Please, the parents and the teachers teach the boys not to go by the dressing or anything. Even if they are wearing short clothes or exposing clothes, it is every boy's duty to respect the woman. Let the boys see a mother or a sister in all the girls. Please.
Boy from Ushodaya School wants to speak.
Even from Radhakrishna, he's waiting.
Radhakrishna School, ma'am.
Yeah, please.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, please go ahead.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
ma'am.
Yes, please go ahead.
First of all, I appreciate this program.
One second. One school at a time. Go ahead with Radhakrishna School first. Radhakrishna School.
Good morning.
Yes.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes.
First of all, I appreciate this program and I thank Dheera organization for conducting this program. We have learned so many things by this program. And of course, we are respecting women and we will continue respecting women. Thank you.
Yes, Ushodaya.
Ushodaya School.
Madam, still we have some organized traditions and superstitions in slum areas about gender bias, about women discrimination. How we can overcome it? How we have to educate the slum area people? Even though we are educating in cities, however, the slum areas is not following this all. How we can overcome it?
So for that, what we want is people who want to make a change. You can have small dramas, you can put up posters, you can leave the numbers, and you can be a source of inspiration for change in those places also. So we want this message. We are telling few of the schools we can reach, but we want you to be our brand ambassadors and spread this message all through. You will be able to do that. Okay?
Thank you to all the students who courageously came forward and interacted with us. Swarupa madam is unable to join. Can we have the closing remarks before we close?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam.
I thank Dr. Shantakumari, ma'am. Can I talk, ma'am? Sharija, ma'am?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Ma'am. I thank Dr. Shantakumari, ma'am, our president, for great initiative. Dr. Badri Patil, ma'am. Dr. Kiranmai, ma'am. Dr. Shailaja, ma'am, and Dr. Padmaja, ma'am, for fabulous talk and very informative talk. And Ajay Mane, sir, for coordinating all this. And all school principals, Bhagyalakshmi, ma'am, from Seven Hills, the principal Joel Joseph, ma'am, Ushodaya principal, Satyam sir and Balaji sir, Praveen sir. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and our dear doctors and colleagues, Dr. Swarupa for great initiative, Dr. Padma ma'am and Dr. Priya, Dr. Srinivas sir and Jyoti ma'am, Dr. Swati Naveen and Dr. Radhika ma'am, and coordinators of the school. Thank you so much. Thank you all the school kids for sitting patiently and listening to all the program in a very disciplined way. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
President.
you very much, madam.
Thank you,
Sharma
Samata madam, our
say
president.
something.
Yeah, thank you, Samata madam, our president. And all the doctors who made it possible. I should thank Shanta Kumari madam and Shailaja madam, Padmaja madam, and our Kiranmai madam. In the last minute, our another speaker had some, she was occupied with some other work. In the last minute, Kiranmai madam has saved us. She readily joined and really helped us out. Thank you, Kiranmai madam, especially. And I thank all the school managements and the coordinators especially, and all the students who have registered. I request you all to take a post test. We will send the link to your WhatsApp at your convenience so that we can get the certificates and we can make these soft copies, physical certificates, and try to give it on some other day. Thank you one and all. And I thank you all the organizers. Thank you very much.
Thank you and bye-bye.
Send the post test to your WhatsApp, Swarupa madam. Okay. Thank you to all the students, all the principals, coordinators. Thank you, Dr. Samata and Dr. Swarupa, for making it this possible. We'll end this session here. Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Can you hear me? Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you, Bhagyalakshmi ma'am, our principal. She's always, behind my success also. She kept on telling me the few steps how to go ahead. And nice, actually. You people are so disciplined. I'm really happy to see you all. Thank you. And thank you, Dr. Komalji and Purnima ma'am, Jagdish, Parmesh sir. You were sitting all throughout with us. Thank you so much. Thank you, dear kids. Abhi, please, you. Yeah.
They will turn this side. We will be behind them. పిల్లలందరూ వచ్చేస్తారు. You turn that side, Nana. Simple.
Okay.
Thank you, children, for listening. All time. I will stay there. With the voice.
Sarva madam, can I end the meeting?
Surely we can. Thank you.